The Prodigy, An Amazing World Tale by me. Dirk Vigilance was only 5 years old, and very unusual for a boy his age, as this was the age he and his parents, Oliver and Olivia, first discovered his sudden talent for writing, which surprised them all. "Our little boy is a very special child," said Olivia proudly. Oliver decided it was time he put that talent to good use, so he bought him a computer, which he took to straight away. Within the next 3 weeks, Dirk had written a collection of more than 20 short stories, each way more compelling than the last. In September, just before he started school, his short story collection was sent to a publisher, who summoned them to his office for a chat about his stories. The publisher, Mr. Ash Booker, was very impressed with Dirk's ability to write before he'd even learned how to read, write, or spell. "My dear boy, you've got real talent. You're what we in this business call a prodigy," he told him, which made Oliver and Olivia smile. Ash then handed Dirk a check for the publishing rights to his book and every book he ever wrote, offering to personally publish it. It was a £60,000 check, and Dirk accepted it without question. Oliver took him to the bank the check into his own high-security bank account, which he and Olivia were going to help maintain, as well as managing his writing career. Over the next 12 months, they accompanied him on his first world book tour to promote the book's release worldwide. He was now 6 years old and a published author, as he received the initial copy of his book and immediately sat down to read it. This news soon caught the attention of 3 major universities, each offering him a place in their writing and languages programs, and he chose to accept his place in Oxford's languages program for the next 3 years. In September, he entered Oxford for the first time and was blown away by how big it was, but he settled in straight away. The staff and students were amazed when he told them he was only 6 and was already in university. The next 3 years seemed to fly by like they'd never even started, and he was soon graduating with a first-class honours degree at the age of just 9 years old. The youngest graduate to ever be awarded a degree from one of Britain's top universities. Over this time, he used his leisure time to write his first adventure novel, which he'd already sent off to Ash for publishing. He said it was to be the first in a series of 20 novels set in a fantasy land called Heraclina, and couldn't wait to hear back. He heard back within 10 days, and his book was in the early stages of publishing. Before he knew it, he was off on the book tour to promote the release of this book. Upon his return the following September, he received the initial copy of this book, The Heraclina Chronicles Book 1, The Strenuous Labours of Heracles, and sat down to start reading. It was so good he couldn't put it down and finished it in 2 weeks, despite it being over 2,000 pages long and 65 chapters. After this, he immediately began working on the second novel in the series. By the time he was 21, he'd completed the first era of Heraclina Chronicles books and was starting to work that should be on the second era. The 11th book which was to be set over 3,000 years after the previous book. Of the 10 books he'd written so far, his favourite was the first, as it served as the origin story for the land that would become known as Heraclina. By the time he was 47, he'd published the final book of the epic saga and was ready for a well-earned break from writing to rest his brain and his hands. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, share and subscribe. There will be another one soon. Until then, thanks for watching and have us a magical time.